This is Newcap News with Nicole Stilger.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Well, it's traveled the world from fighting forest fires in Italy to working in mines in BC. Today, one of the largest helicopters in the world landed at the Lloydminster airport. Though they prefer smaller airports, the crew on board the Sikorsky Sky Crane say the border city was a logistical choice.
We picked the best path, and if they have jet fuel for us and it's on our path to where we're going to, that's where it doesn't matter whether it's big or small, as long as they got the fuel we need, that's where we try to go.
For those at the Lloydminster airport, it was an exciting day nonetheless.
This is quite a unique event today. Out of the 2 years I've been here, I can tell you this is the first Sky Crane to be in Lloydminster. For me, as an airplane geek, it doesn't get any better.
The helicopter flew in from Red Deer on its way to Thompson, Manitoba. A public screening of a documentary on pornography is on tonight at a local church. The organizers say that 9 out of 10 boys view porn, with the average age being 12 years old, while 60% of girls have seen porn by age 18.
Online pornography, as we know it, is a Canadian-made problem. 8 out of the 10 biggest porn sites in the world are Canadian. It's a giant monopoly based in Montreal called MindGeek.
Guelph native Jared Brock and his wife Michelle are driving across Canada to raise awareness among parents about the graphic content that youngsters are exposed to in online porn. They are screening a documentary to support their case.
My wife and I directed this film called Over 18, and it's a look at pornography. We talked to porn stars and porn directors and ex-porn addicts for a living.
The couple has been married for 8 years, and following recent meetings with members of Parliament, they're lobbying Ottawa for change.
We're really doing this campaign in support of something called Motion 47, and it's really simple. We want the government to study the effect of porn on teens. This hasn't been done in Canada since 1985, prior to the internet.
The screening of the documentary Over 18 is on tonight at 7:30 at the Word Church in Lloydminster. Well, area producers are mulling over the latest canola information following Thursday's ADM Innovates Farm Showcase. Gerard Lampow finds out how this info session is annually becoming a welcome break on the conference circuit.
Canola markets are actually looking pretty good. They've been going up steadily since the beginning of harvest.
Crop tech student Mike Simbalak was one of the young producers at the annual ADM Farm Showcase. As a member of the student-managed farm at Lakeland College, he's keen on knowing his market options.
The election in the States is definitely going to impact us with the dollar, which will probably hurt us on the basis. So we've been looking at some basis contracts for sure for wheat. If we can lock in that basis and watch the futures, that might help us out a lot.
Dr. Greg Gingera with Dow AgroSciences in Saskatoon and Matt Bingham, a commodity trader with ADM in Winnipeg, were this year's featured speakers. While Gingera looked at using powder shatter-resistant varieties and the benefits that may have in your rotation, Bingham weighed in on getting canola to market. He estimates a price range between $11.75 and $9.50 a bushel.
We've had a pretty good run in the canola market in the last couple of weeks. You know, from a technical perspective, it appeared that it was going to rally, and more recently we've had a U.S. biofuel mandate announcement.
Ken Worms farms about 3,200 acres of canola east of Lloydminster. He says cash flow is still king when it comes to producers' marketing decisions.
I potentially see a small upside to maybe holding some canola into the new year. But I think any and all rallies will be small and short-lived.
For some area producers who are still battling the challenges of a late harvest this year, the ADM Farm Showcase allows for networking and a chance to reset. And Bingham sees international demand being strong for canola next year.
Going into 2017, we feel that canola is going to have strong demand. Which, you know, should be relatively supportive of the price. Ultimately, it's going to be beans that provide the direction of canola.
Gerard Lampow, Newcap News.
Charges have been laid against a Lloydminster man after a weekend crash that caused a gas leak.
The driver of the vehicle that was involved in the collision where the gas line was broken has been issued traffic violations. They've received careless driving as well as failed to remain at the scene of an accident.
The collision happened Saturday night at a shopping complex off Highway 17, seriously damaging a gas line and forcing an evacuation of the building. ATCO later shut down the leak. There were no injuries in the crash, and the driver is expected to appear in Alberta Provincial Court, but no date has been set. Many of us are rushed as we commute to work, but in these colder months, RCMP are urging drivers to completely clear vehicle windows before going on the road.
If you aren't able to see the road, if you aren't able to tell if somebody is coming, and even for other people who are trying to look into your vehicle and to look and see what it is that you're doing, making that eye contact before they go at a four-way stop, those are all reasons why it is dangerous.
Constable Kersinger adds people run the risk of being fined for driving with obstructed windows.
It's something that we would recommend that people take the extra time to fully scrape your window, wait until the fog goes away. Driving with a frosted window where you can't see out is a ticket. There is something associated to up to $155 fine.
Well, back in October, we brought you a story about how students at College Park School were celebrating Education Week by dressing up as what they want to be when they grow up. Well, we couldn't help but be taken by a particular grade 1 student whose passion for wanting to be a police officer was heartwarming.
You might remember Caden Lane. He dressed up as an RCMP officer for Education Week, and it was hard not to be captivated by the enthusiasm he has for his dream job.
What is it about being an RCMP officer that really excites you?
To catch bad guys.
Well, we thought why not surprise the youngster at school with one of Lloydminster's finest.
Hi guys, how are you guys doing today? Hey. Hi, so my name's Constable K. Is there somebody here named Caden? You're Caden? How are you doing, Caden? I heard that you wanted to become a policeman.
Constable Grant Kersinger chatted with Caden about the Mountie outfit he wore that day, then showed the entire class what he wears every day, and even engaged the group on what his job entails.
What do you guys think? What do you think a policeman does? Yeah, what do you think? What?
Catch bad guys.
Catch bad guys? You betcha.
Afterwards, he brought Caden up to the front and gave the future officer a few goodies.
There you go.
That's the size.
That is the size. It's pretty awesome.
All in all, a good day for both parties, especially Caden, who was completely surprised by Constable Kersinger's visit.
I didn't know he was coming, but when Miss Misty peeked out the door, I didn't recognize even.
Caden, for sure, his face just lit up, and you can see it in his smile when he talks about it.
It's pretty awesome to be able to see his reaction, to see, just the fun and the joy that he can have with it, and just how he looks up to us is pretty neat.
Nicole Stilger, Newcap News.
Being like a policeman, that's awesome.
Well, the Kinsmen Club opened up their annual Christmas tree sale this afternoon. It's the club's biggest fundraiser of the year, which runs right up till Christmas unless every tree is sold. Most trees range between 6 to 15 feet, with taller trees selling out first. All funds go towards groups like Gift at Christmas, School Safety Patrol, and minor hockey.
We have a great following of customers that come directly to us because we are the Kinsmen Club, and all money does stay right in our own community.
Wildeman says the goal is to have every tree sold by the 18th or 19th.
It was about the 22nd last year we sold out, and we had the lot cleaned up and packed up for the year again, and it's a great feeling when you're sold out prior to Christmas.
The tree lot is open noon to 9 during the week, 9 to 9 on Saturday, and 10 to 6 on Sunday. Prices start at $50. Black Friday has been an American tradition for many years, but recently it's becoming more of a holiday north of the border as well, including right here in Lloydminster.
The economy is a little quieter this year, but this is a huge day for them all, huge day for any retailer. So we're very busy, we're very happy with the turnout. The specials are huge this year compared to other years. I think, again, the economy being tougher, the stores have put on some really good sales, and it's kickoff to Christmas.
Officials at the Lloyd Mall say they tried hard to keep residents in town to shop local instead of heading into Edmonton or Saskatoon. Richer says she believes the Black Friday tradition is becoming more Canadian and will continue to be in the coming years. As for crazy scenes that we see south of the border, Lloyd Mall says shoppers were peaceful and cordial. And for those of you out shopping on Black Friday, you may want to take in some of the events happening around the Midwest. Heather Klages has the rundown in this week's edition of What's Happening.
This may be Black Friday, but tomorrow is the one-day-only ticket sale for a huge event that's coming up in the new year, the Dreaming Out Loud Children's Ball. It was a huge success earlier this year, so they're bringing it back, and it's an opportunity for you and the entire family to take a trip to Neverland. Get your tickets tomorrow starting at 9 a.m. at the Lloyd X Grounds. All the proceeds from this fundraiser go to the Lloydminster Interval Home. Tomorrow is your last chance to check out the Maidstone Red Hat Society's annual Festival of Trees. Tomorrow you'll be able to check out all the different beautifully decorated trees, plus bid on the items in the auction, and tomorrow you've got a chance to take in the great entertainment they've got lined up. 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, Glenn Hagel will perform, and tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock, it's the Yellowhead Ramblers. Things wrap up at 8 o'clock tomorrow, and all the proceeds go to the folks in the Maidstone Health Complex. The season of giving is upon us, and we want to give you a copy of Bon Jovi's brand new album, This House Is Not For Sale. It includes the title track, also Knockout and Labor of Love. If you want a copy, it's really easy. All you have to do is email your name and daytime phone number to tvcontests@newcap.ca. We want to say thanks to John at Universal Music Canada for setting us up with the music. And coming up on Monday night is the annual Festival of Trees here in the city of Lloydminster. It'll be held at the Lloydminster Cultural and Science Centre, and you'll have a chance to preview the trees coming up tomorrow. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, I hope you have a great one. I'm Heather Klages, and that's what's happening.
Well, trying to win league championships is a difficult task in itself. A variety of issues can hamper a team's performance, but what happens when 80% of the roster moves on? Lance Phillips explains.
Friday marks the first regional tournament for the Lakeland Rustlers curling team, but this year, things are different. The squad only has 3 returning players, and they'll be relied on heavily.
They carry what the culture we want to bring to the team, and when we travel, what we do, how we represent ourselves, our families, and our college.
We're expecting a big leadership role from them, and we have a bunch of talented new people on our team this year as well.
Even with veteran leadership and newfound talent comes obstacles the team needs to overcome.
As a skip, I kind of recognize that we might have some ends where it might not go quite our way, and I might need to save a few ends with a nice draw or a nice hit.
I feel like we might be one of the underdogs. We do have lots of young players, but I think we can definitely overcome that for sure.
They have to enjoy the experience. It can't be, the pressure can't be from us where they're struggling and they're not enjoying it to get here.
An intangible that can't be taught is attitude. And for this team, it's spot on.
We all get along together and play together really well. And yeah, we're out there to have fun more than anything, so I think it'll be really good.
Unlike other AC sports, curling doesn't grant the host team a spot in the championship tournament, which means for the Rustlers, winning is of utmost importance right now. But that's not the only obstacle facing Dusty Makachuk. He said, "I'm teaching my team the skills to win on the ice, but I'm also teaching them the skills to be friends off the ice. And it's clear the strategy's working. They have confidence heading into their tournament in Red Deer, something they'll need an abundance of if they hope to land a spot on the tournament they're hosting, the Provincial Championships." Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Vermilion.
Well, after a long and grueling season, the Raiders football squad laced them up for one last practice to get ready for what they've been working toward all season, the Alberta Bowl. Bailey Nitty reports.
Get set. Ready, ball. There you guys go.
Cold weather didn't keep the boys off the field for the last practice of the season.
That's great. All the hard work kind of pays off, and we're heading to the last game of the season as far as we could possibly go, so we're excited about it.
The Raiders will play the Cochrane Cobras tomorrow, a team they lost 55-0 to in the same Alberta Bowl final last year.
The difference this year is definitely knowing our opponent. We know what they can do. We know what we're up against. We know their key players and how we can match against that and what we can do to stop them.
For the grade 12 players, it's their last chance to bring home a championship and prove themselves in the game they love.
For me, football was everything. It was a place where I could get away from everything else. It's a place where I get away from school, away from people. Football, it was a family for us, all of us.
Yeah, it's kind of an emotional day, I guess, for the grade 12s, and you know they won't step foot on the field again as a Raider.
With just one more job to accomplish, Coach Oreo can't ask much more of his Raiders.
Just play for each other, play for the team, play for the Raider football family, and yeah, play the best game you can, and the best team will win.
Bailey Nitty, Newcap Sports.